So Smalls, you want to talk about urban legends?
Yeah, every town's got one, right? Especially like small towns.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up in a small town, but there were things that everyone talked about.
Yeah, right. Where you're from Minneapolis, right?
Yeah, from like the Twin Cities area.
Yeah.
I remember this one thing that everyone kind of was like, isn't this weird? Like it was like a common like weird thing that everyone would just be like, oh, I wonder what's going on there. There was this restaurant kind of close to my house. It was like on the way home from a lot of different things. So we would always drive past it. And it had been there for probably from the time I was like 5 all the way. I think it's gone now. But like once I left for college, it was still there. And I think I only ever saw like 1 or 2 cars in the parking lot ever in the 20-something years that it had been there. And it was kind of a thing, like the fact that there was never any cars. And they had like a big parking lot. It wasn't like it was just like a smaller, I mean, maybe they did a bunch of takeout, but only ever saw like 1 or 2 cars in there. And so everyone's kind of like, how is that place still open? Like no one had ever gone to eat there. So no one ever really knew what their food was like. I do know that there was like a group of girls a couple years younger than me who all went to eat there before like a big school thing. And they said it was good.
So
and that's all I know. It was just like a common, like, how is that place still around? Like, why is there never anyone there? Just like a weird thing that.
So it's like a restaurant with no like signage or anything?
No, I don't remember what it was called. They had like a sign and everything. There was never anyone there. It was like always.
And was everyone just too afraid
empty.
to go into it? Or
I don't know, but it was around for like 15 years plus. Yeah.
And then now it's just gone.
Yeah.
Well, my urban legend's kind of like the small town variety. It's like one of those old classic stories. So where I'm from, it was a story called Hannah's Grave. And so,
oh, no. No.
Well, it's Halloween season, right? So this is perfect. So the story is that this 16-year-old girl named Hannah got pregnant. And this is back in the day when it was very shameful to have kids out of wedlock. I mean, kids were getting married at 16, right? This is 1800s. And so the story goes is she got pregnant, had the baby. The parents took the baby before she could even see it. They drowned it in the river and told her that it was a stillbirth. Well, legend goes that she passed away not too long after that from a broken heart. And then she was buried in this cemetery called Rock Bluff Cemetery, which is now a ghost town. So they
Where are you from?
I'm in a small town beyond the woods. You know where the Platte River is? Keep going south beyond that, and then you'll hit my hometown. Okay. People watching this probably will know. But Rock Bluff Cemetery, Rock Bluff is now a ghost town, but the cemetery is basically in the middle of nowhere right now. I think it's like on a private property. And so the stories were, the legend was, if you go out to and find Hannah's grave, you can hear her crying for her baby, looking for her baby. No one's been able to corroborate that story because they did find like a Hannah's marker, but she was like in her 30s, and her son, I can't remember the name of the son, was buried next to her, which was like a younger kid, but and I guess she's not even buried there anymore. But that was a story, and so us as teenagers would go out to the country and go find the cemetery and
look for the grave
and do what teenagers do, drink in a cornfield. But
isn't that all there is to do there?
Pretty much, yeah. But I was a good teenager.
Yes.
So that's like our urban legend from my hometown was this Hannah's Grave story. But everyone told it, everyone kind of knew it, but it can never be like really verified. You can't look through any papers and confirm the story. But I think like every like small town kind of has like some of those urban legends.
Yeah, that's so much creepier than the restaurant that never had any people in it in my town.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Straight down. So it's Halloween season. That's what it got me thinking, because it just there's all these weird stories that you kind of hear from different places. I thought Nikki would have maybe a good urban legend story too, because she's
from the small town,
even smaller than my town, which should have some stories. So we need to check in with her and other people to see what their urban legend stories are.